Okay, we're live. Go ahead.
Welcome to the Talking Dog Show, and we are ready today to have some fun and some really heartful conversation around the care of dogs. Listen, I have a little bit of stuff on my hand. If you happen to notice it, my hand was wrapped medically and I took it off, and I don't have anything to get that tape off. So forgive me. I tried before the show. You'll just have to see it. It's the way it is. We can't touch it up or anything at this point. So yeah, the Talking Dog Show. I'm Anahata Graceland. This is Arturo Celleri.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we I created the breed called Royal Frenchel Frenchies, and I've been a breeder over 50 years, and just really want to share the love. And I want to share leading edge thinking and care around dog relationships with their people. I'm always dedicated to dogs and their people, both. Okay, the relationship between the two and the dog alone and the human alone, because the truth is, uh, there's a big reason why over 60% of the people in the world, in our part of the world, in the US, have dogs. And a big reason why cities like Seattle, San Francisco, St. Petersburg, Florida, all these cities are dog cities. As a matter of fact, in Seattle, there are more dogs in families than there are children. And it's not the only one. So I just wanted to bring our attention because to the whole bond experience with your dog. And I want to share with you that the way I look at it is an interspecies culture that we build with our animals. The days of having a great big dog that were outside and large and ate big hunks of meat, those are over, right? They're over for most of the world. And what has evolved over time are smaller and smaller dogs, and dogs that have the types of personalities that people are desiring, that can come in the home, great with children, good with families. You don't have to stick them in the garage or out in the back anymore. Um, the world is changing, not only in high tech, but it's changing in terms of our relationship with our dogs once more. So, over the 3,000 years that we've been connected, we have really changed, and so have dogs. And they've been right alongside of us. We have all kinds of genetics that speak to us and whisper to us inside of the relationship potentials with our dogs. And it does to the dog as well, of the hope and the joy that they feel about being alongside of us. So I just thought I would share that. That's the context of our coming together. And oh God, before I forget, let me just show you this, because this is like the greatest um, uh, thermos I have ever experienced. We actually have an Amazon store. You can see the link below. It's the only product in there at this point, and I will only be putting things in there that are completely confirmed and in terms of quality and usability, because I use them. And believe me, over 50 years, I cannot tell you how many thousands of dollars I've spent on products with that were a bunch of bunk. They were just not quality. This is stainless steel. It has two compartments in the bottom, which are all joined together super easily. And I have a tough hand right now, so getting it off is super easy. And so you have two bowls, one for water, one for food. And Amazon Prime Day is coming up. It's like, I think it's 1995 on July 8th. So please feel free to get one and get some for the, family and friends for the holidays, because I mean, easily $32 for something at this quality. So I just wanted to share that with you. The fun thing about it, and why I get excited when I go to share it with anyone, and you can see the little logo there. Those are our two little characters. And just wait, what's coming. Something is coming that is going to be so much fun. Within the month, it'll be here, and I'm going to share it with you. And I'm not going to talk a lot about it right now. But just get ready for a surprise. So I just got this caught on my hand. I have a tough hand right now. Um, Now, what was I saying
We're just well,
prior to that?
um, That I am so sorry. I didn't.
Oh,
I was
that's all
chatting
right.
with. I was
No
chatting with
problem.
Julie.
No
And
problem.
ready to bring Julie on, so I was just chatting
No,
for you.
that's fine. Turo's helping me get our visitor today, Julie, and we'll be bringing her on in a moment. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was sharing with you why I get excited about this incredible bottle. Okay. The reason why is that I use it for bonding and fun. So I could take a little bowl and bottle of water and mess around. I go in the car. I bought a Tesla so that I could have dog mode. And dog mode is the most incredible thing in the world. If you're a dog person, you want to get a Tesla because I'll tell you, it will bring so much happiness into your life, both for the ease of driving, for sure. And I was a race driver when I was young, and I adore it. So, but the big thing is that you can leave your car, put it on dog mode, and you can look at your dogs on your phone. But the thing I love about this thermos is that all I have to do is take it out, and the dogs come right to attention, and everybody's ready. They all know we're all going to get a little snack and water. And I want you to know who hasn't gone out and let themselves get dehydrated. And the dog with you gets dehydrated, and they get dehydrated faster. Okay, they're used to using up all that moisture in their systems. So the truth is, I've been terrible about that over the years, and having this thermos, I absolutely adore it. I stay hydrated, the dogs stay hydrated, and we all have a ball. I take it out. There's a thing in the middle between my two seats. I have 3 on one side, one on my neck. That comes up when we're doing this. And then I have 4 in the back, 1 partially in the middle. Yeah, I take a lot of dogs with me when I go, because now with dog mode, it's like a sweet thing. They get a little bit of adventure and a taste of the wild out there and have some fun. And we get to share these moments like that. And those moments are really fun, They're fun to know that I'm touching the heart of my dogs, who are such good friends. And they're also really sweet for me. These moments of sweetness in our lives. Look I'm intelligent. I, you know, I'm have a doctoral level education. Um, I graduated summa cum laude. So it's not that I'm some fool that just likes dogs, okay? I don't normally talk about it that way, but I realize that a lot of people don't realize that you can be super intelligent and still have a deep relationship and loving, affectionate relationship with your dogs, right? So I want to invite you to some of these thoughts that I'm having, because it's good for your health. This reduces stress so much. That sweetness that you experience, the joy, the happiness that's taking place around you, your own sip of water, reducing your dehydration. I'm telling you, it's so lovely. And, when you're done, everybody is happy, everybody is restful and calm, including me. And we start out on our next drive. So, yeah, that is the what is the tail wagging love thermos. So I invite you to it. Again, remember, Prime Day is coming up, July 8th, and it's only $19.95 on that day. Okay, so Arturo, we have a wonderful guest with us. Her name is Julie, and she's from England. I'm not sure where she is right now. She's sort of a
Just Julie, would you turn your camera on now, and then we can have you be part of it?
awesome.
Oh,
No problem. So I'm just
I got there. Sorry. Pressing the wrong buttons. Hi.
Are you home in England now, or where?
I'm in England. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
In England. Yeah.
Good. So Julie is a recent customer of ours who's buying her little micro Wesley, who is absolutely gorgeous, and we'll show you a picture of him in a few minutes. But so she came on some business to the US, came to see Wesley. It was so fun. We had such an enjoyable time with her. So she joined the show today. And I don't know if we sent you a copy of the book. That should have happened. So
Yeah.
Please remind me to do that, because Julie, I want you to get a copy of the book. It doesn't have the images yet. The Way of the Dog is a book I wrote, folks. And it's in the process of being completed now with the designer. And but a few people I'm giving it ahead of time too. She's getting ready to get her dog. I would love for you to have it and read it, Julie. You'll enjoy it, and I think you'll enjoy some of the opportunities that it creates too, with some fun things to do, some wonderful rituals and checklists and things that'll make it fun.
Yeah,
So
that would be amazing.
what's on your mind today, sweetie? Tell me. And I don't mean
What?
to put you on the spot. Believe me, I can keep talking any day of the week.
No.
Well, go ahead.
No, and in actual fact, the book I'm really interested to read, because the reason I found you was when I was looking, and I just really struggled to find that dog that I was looking for in my life, and it was really all about the relationship, a relationship sort of dog. And so I've been really fascinated, uh, with your story, why how you came to breed the Royal Frenchels, and their differences, and that whole interspecies connection that you talk about. So it's been a real journey that I've been learning. And I really struggled when I was looking for a puppy. There was something not right. I just couldn't find what I was looking for. I couldn't tell you what I was looking for until I found your website.
Oh, and that's so true, Julie. Everyone, this evolution between humans and dogs has been taking place sort of under our noses, and we haven't had a lot of discussion about it in a very direct way, naming it clearly, because everything's about being the pack leader and being the top dog, and making sure that you have your dog with boundaries, etc. And unfortunately, that just isn't the answer. I mean, we all have roles, and we all need to have clear roles to do. And if we're not performing, we definitely need to be, accountable to that, our dogs included, right? But I think what you're naming, I've heard so many of our customers name, and that is that in their gut, they knew there
Yeah.
was a soulful connection that they really wanted, and they wanted their dog to get that in the beginning. They didn't want to buy a dog from some location that was, didn't have that type of mentality, awareness.
Mm-hmm.
The power of love is so strong and simple. And last week or the week before, we talked about what is love, and witnessing someone, period,
Mm-hmm.
who they are, considering them valuable no matter what they do, and really celebrating that relationship with relevance, and being present to it. And it's so easy to do when you have interest in your dog. You're actually sharing that it is important to you, and you're elevating the quality of your own internal system. And I think
Yes,
that's the thing that you maybe, maybe that's what you felt, is that presence is here. And
definitely. Yeah. And
yeah,
it's, dogs, you hope are going to be in a life for, many years. And you want the dog to be really happy in your presence, and you want to be really happy in the dogs. And it was really about that connection, but I really struggled to describe it or find it, or even actually in other breeders, that to sort of talk about it. And I think that was a huge difference, when I spoke to you, to suddenly find what I was looking for. And I only really knew what I was looking for until I until I found you.
yeah, yeah. You know, um, it's really interesting because you went to a number of breeders, right? I mean, didn't you see a number of places ahead of time in England and
Yes,
elsewhere?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes. I spoke
yeah.
to a few different ones. Yeah.
And people are wising up, even though they don't quite have the language for it yet, where in the past they might have just sort of run over themselves and gone ahead and gotten an animal from somewhere. Um, People today are kind of holding out for that experience that you're naming, that intuitive,
Hmm.
embrace of what you're getting into. And with a Royal Frenchel, my God, they live 14 to 18 years, not like a regular Frenchie. And that's killer. I mean, that's a long time. You want to make sure that you have, you know, a dog that you're really connected to, and that's the right dog for your lifestyle also. So many people search for dogs and they say, I want a blue, or I want a this, or I want a that. And they come here, or, you know, we're on a Zoom with them, because many of our dogs are like you know, in Europe or across the United States. And so we're on Zoom and we visit a number of times maybe. And it's really something to, whoops, I just had one of those things. Forgive me, folks. I had a brain disease when I was a child. Forgive me. This is just wild. And this week, on and off, I've had the small seizures that I get. They don't show this. I have two types of seizures. These don't show this type, but what it does is it completely interrupts my thinking. I just am suddenly blank. So just put up with me. We will continue, and we definitely will make sure you have a great show. So yeah. This unspoken territory is getting spoken. And the book that I wrote, The Way of the Dog, really talks a lot about this evolution and this simple and easy rituals you can do, you know, not being way out there, or having to work hard or do any of those things, but just in the natural movements of your life, putting some things in that are just fun and that immediately show results. And you're not training per se, but the relationship that you evolve with it actually makes your dog so much easier to train. We had a dog here in the kennel who someone else had raised. And as you know, I had some surgery. I came back. So the dog had been not with anyone really. And I called it in here. And I mean, within 3 to 5 days, he was completely different. And I didn't do any big, heavy, do this, do that. No, don't do this, or corrections. I have a way of living where I think that I have to have at least 7 really wonderful acknowledgement connections, communications, before I have the right to make a correction, unless it's a 10 on a 0 to 10. If it's really, really important and, you know, somebody's at risk, absolutely, I will do it. But otherwise, I'm in the habit of where I have to go, you know, at least 7 times, some level of communication that is pleasing, that's functional, that works, that supports our lives together, that acknowledges them. And then when I have to make a correction, it's so simple. And they don't, you know, feel like they're being put in a box, you know, really different. Yeah. Well,
may I share something?
Sure.
One of the things that's striking to me that really got me thinking more about how important relationship is with your dog is, in her book, she goes over the evolution of dogs, right? And I never really considered that animals in my life are evolving at the same time. Like, I'm always thinking of humans, and it really is. We're so focused on us in the same way, you know, she talks about with the 5-minute hands-on play, where you focus on them, but that they're evolving at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then, so if you consider that this relationship has been evolving since they came close to the fire, right, with the early humans, and that they were work dogs, and the whole progression all the way to now that we live with them.
And they actually, if I could interrupt for just a quick second, they actually, this relationship began in the pre-wolf period. So there's a dog before wolf, which is that pre-stage. So it's really, you can, you know, because everybody thinks wolf, but no, it's beyond wolf even. Yeah, go ahead.
So then if you think about, well, what is evolving, right? When you think of evolution, you think of like physical evolution. It's how Darwin like painted the picture, right? But we're talking about something very different, actually. We're talking about an evolution of a relationship, of a connection, of a of some sort of harmony that gets established between you and your animal. And that is so cool because that is really, and then when you think about Royal Frenchels, well, what makes them so special? What is this that everyone's trying to articulate? It's that evolved ability to relate and connect at a very deep level with their people. So, and that's what I think people want, right? I think that's what like, and then when you ask the question, well, what is the biggest challenge or need, let's say, that society has today? It would be connection. It would be deep, close relationship with someone who they can just be and have that nourishment of just being together, because that's what love would be, right? So our dogs are fulfilling that, and it's so precious. And I just think the naming of it that she does in her book is really ripe for the times, because all the dogs are all our dogs are evolving this way if they're in relationship. Our dogs are built for relationships, so they're sort of like a cutting edge of it. But any relationship with a canine, with an animal, is evolving, and that's so cool. And it's a cool perspective.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say and as well, what I think is really helpful is it's almost, well, certainly for me, as much as it's what I was looking for, I guess the support and the information that you provide as well helps me to better understand and be able to sort of be present, I suppose, in that relationship. Because whilst I'm searching for it, that I still need to learn how to get the best out of what I'm looking for. So it's almost like and I thought sometimes it almost feels like a part matchmaking service that you deliver as well, which is
very true.
Yeah, it's
true.
because you're kind of getting me in the right place as well to make sure that I've got the knowledge, to be able to then, really get the best out of the relationship as well. So that's been incredibly helpful.
I think one of the biggest things that I do, and it's so fun because I have many families that I've supported, and they have my dogs for 3 generations, and they're all living now. Many of them are still alive, and they call me today and they say, "Which dog you think is for me?" And they have me choose their dog, and then they look and everything. And 9 times out of 10, they take the dog that I've suggested, and they absolutely have great lives. I have customers that have 9, 7, the all micros and super micros and smalls. I mean, really, really fun. But what I was going to say is that, when we name something, we give permission for it to get out of the box. We can walk around with something in us. It's one reason why in the medical world, right, diagnosis is so valuable. People that have illness for a long time, it's so frustrating and hurtful to them not to have a diagnosis because they don't have a way to give themselves an embrace around it and release that, yes, this is what it is. And so when we name the relationship that is an intuitive, soulful bond with your dog, it's very real and very much there and can aid your life outrageously for health reasons. Like, as we know, you get a dog within the first year of having a heart attack and you have a 33% higher chance of survival. That's not a little statistic. That's huge.
Yeah.
Babies, everybody's so afraid and thinking that it's so dangerous to have dogs around them because of the dirt or whatever. And they're so afraid they're going to get sick. No, 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 no. Kids that are around dogs have a much higher level of immune system. So it's very different. And today, of course, we have much more research going on. We have a lot more capacity to locate that information because we're on the internet. We have phones. We're hooked up pretty quickly today. So my naming of it, what I experience for me when I'm working with people or meeting them is I'm just sort of naming what they already know, but it hadn't been given any language. And they didn't know where to put it, but they knew it was bothering them. They knew that something was off and they wanted to name it, and they wanted to be able to prosper it and bring it forward. And so I think that the naming of something is very, very valuable. And that's what I'm doing in the world of dogs. Because, and actually, you know, everything I share works really well with any living thing. I have a plant. For years, I have kept a plant in my bathroom. And I do that because I call it my exercise zone. Like you go to the fitness center or what have you. I have my bathroom with a little exercise zone. And what does that mean? It means that when I go in, I greet my plant. I thank it for, you know, waiting around for me, that I haven't been there for a while. I've been using the other bathrooms in the house or something. And I just take one moment to just simply look at it and feel the presence of it. And then I usually will touch it a little bit and give it sometimes I even give it a kiss. I mean, my plants mean as much to me as my dogs, to be honest with you. And so then I go ahead and do my business, and I get back up and I thank the plant for being present with me, and for being such a joy, you know, that I get to come and go and see this beautiful thing and see all the changes all the time. Now, this takes what? All of a couple of seconds going in and leaving. But what it does more deeply for me is that it puts me in the place of myself that I really want to live.
Yeah.
And I'm busy. I work. I don't think I ever work, less than 12 hours a day. And most of the time, I'm 14 hours a day. People come in my room by 5:30 in the morning because I don't like to leave my studs in long runs and things. So I keep a lot of the studs in my actual room that I sleep in. And so that means kennel personnel come in early morning to let them out and do their rounds with the dogs. And the last round ends at around 10 at night. So I am, you know, moving all day. I just wrote my book. I developed Mr. White, which we'll get to in a moment. But I have a lot of projects. I have a great life. And these moments in between, they extend our lives. They extend the power to persevere. A few weeks back, Mr. White, the website on Mr. White was getting completed. There were some issues around developing the AI that I wanted to address. The book was being edited, and I found a whole bunch of areas that needed to be rewritten suddenly after all this time again. And it was just one of those days where you go, oh my God, how will I ever get this done? Well, I don't do that anymore, but I felt it. I felt the mountainous job in front of me. But because of this way of life that I've established for so long, and dogs brought it to me. They're the ones who brought it to me. And because of that, I have a staying power, and I don't take things quite so seriously. Come here, Bill. And I don't take things quite so seriously, or rather, I know that it's going to pass, so might as well, you know, have a moment of sweetness in the midst of it, and not be as concerned about it, because it doesn't really do any good to do that. But you can say that all you want. It's these little moments of sweetness that actually sustain us through those things. And now it's 3 weeks later. All those sections were rewritten, and I'm very happy about them. I even ended up adding another chapter that I got so inspired. And Mr. White website is up. We're moving into beta now. By the end of this coming week, we're going to have a bunch of features on it that'll be pretty amazing, and so on and so forth. So I don't mean to go on forever here, but my point is that, you know, don't poo-poo and think so little of these moments that we have, because that richness that we share in those bonds is what sustains us in times of trial or challenge. And it means a lot to us, you know, it really does. Well, I just realized, Julie, I have not shown a puppy yet. And one of the things we do on the Talking Dog Show is show Royal Frenchel puppies.
Here's Wesley.
Oh, this is Wesley.
So she is.
The Wesley.
This is little Wesley. This
Hello,
is
Wesley.
Julie's boy. Oh, he's such a boy.
Bless him.
I have you. He's so excited because I have other dogs out in here as and so he's he's so
Yeah, we gotta let him out to the bathroom. He just woke up
There
from
you go.
Bless him.
Wes,
Oh.
Julie's boy.
Yeah. So why don't
Okay.
you take him out to the bathroom real quick, and I'm gonna have Gigi come over
Awesome.
and take your seat for just a second to show pups. All right, here we go. And this boy here is my boy Billy, and he will chunk out over the next 2.5 years or 2 years. He's about 10, 11 months old now. And so it's going to be so fun to see him develop. I just love him. Okay.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Julie. How are you doing?
Hi.
This,
Hi.
this is Gigi. She is my goddaughter, and she also works full-time in the kennel, and she's pretty amazing. All right. Well, let's bring some pups up and tell them about him.
This is Basil.
I'm going to put him up closer, honey, because you
Yeah.
need to come in closer. You look far. Oh, there you go. Okay.
This is Basil. He's a real sweetheart. He's got really pretty eyeliner. I don't know if you can quite tell, but he's got some eyeliner around his eyes. He's really beautiful.
And Basil is kind of special in the history of Royal Frenchel because you see this marking on his behind. This marking was on the original Grande Dame, who was my dog, Diva. And every once in a while, we get the marking of Diva, and it's just so much fun to see it. I mean, it's exact. It's really fun.
This whole litter is their mom is such a sweetheart. She's really, really smart, and she can come off as like a little hyper at the beginning, but you really realize over time she's just intrigued and smart and wants to learn about everything and see everything. So her puppies are like that. They're huge, just bundles of love. They'll snuggle right in.
And they're not
And-
quite as active as their mom because they have their dad's personality. So they're the typical chill Royal Frenchel, but when you want to play or when you want to snuggle, either way, they're up for it and they'll just follow along. A Royal Frenchel is not territorially anchored to the world. They are relationship anchored. What does that mean? I kind of made that distinction years and years ago with a Royal Frenchel because why don't you, I had to just kiss him up. And you can get another one, sweetheart. But the distinction is really an important one because bulldogs are, and many dog breeds are territorially related. And what I mean by that, whoops, I'm sorry. What I mean by that is that you can bring them up, but I'm going to talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is that the way they relate to their world is that they have a space in the world and that territory is theirs. And if you're in it and you're their family, they own you. So it makes them good companions because people go, wow, my dog is so good to me, etc. They follow me everywhere around the house, etc. But they're not real comfortable traveling. They're not real comfortable going places, and they don't really understand it. And the reason why is because they're anchored to their environment. You move their bowls and stuff. Many of them will actually pull their bowl back to a place that they're comfortable with, that they've been using on a regular basis. So a Royal Frenchel is relational. They're actually bred for relationship. And we have a proprietary process that I developed. Sounds like a big word. I mean, it's called the Love Bucket training. And every puppy gets an hour of it a day, 6 days a week here. And it's to really ignite the brain and to create relationship activity so that communication, they have 3 generations of people around, of dogs around them, so that they learn manners with larger and older dogs. But the key that a relationship anchor means is that the dog is super comfortable going anywhere as long as it's with you. So Royal Frenchels are amazing travel dogs. They can go anywhere. They're so easy to handle. They love it. They like the adventure. They love meeting people. And it's really nice, when you have a dog that can go everywhere with you and you don't have a hassle. It's not work. They actually add to the experience instead of take away because of all the work you have to do to prepare, etc. And nine times out of 10, a Royal Frenchel doesn't even go to the bathroom on an airplane. Like if you have a really long trip, 9 times out of 10, they just go into this sort of state of hibernation and they go rest and sleep and just rest. And then when you get there, they have to go. So I would say at least 95% of my customers tell me this across the board. And of course, I've had the same experience for years. But yeah, so this is,
I've been lucky to take a few dogs to their homes. I've flew to Florida, flew to, where was it? Montana. And it's been really shocking to see how like 3-month-old puppies or 4-month-old puppies act like they've been doing it for years. It's like
Yeah.
they're adult dogs and they're already, they're already pros at, so it's really easy. You don't even feel the puppy. You forget it's down there because he's just sleeping. But yeah, this is Fanny Bell. She's one of my favorites. She is just got the most adorable face. I don't think the camera does her justice.
Her ears are on the way up. Royal
Yeah.
Frenchel's ears are like flowers. They sort of go up over time the way flowers blossom. Some of them don't. They come with ears up, ears down, or one ear up and one ear down.
She's a really big love. She's got a silky coat too, not with the tufts of fur, but a short hair, just really, really silky and soft. And they're all learning to play right now, so I'll like come in and I'll see them like doing these tiny little growls at each other and like pawing at each other, which is really adorable. But yeah, she's a big sweetheart, big love.
Now, Fanny's personality is different than Basil's. Basil is a super chill guy. He will be attached to you and enjoy life with you and watch everywhere you go, things like that. He'll participate with you and be very deeply satisfied with that. Fanny has a little more of a scope of attending to the larger world around you. So she'll be anchored with you, but she will also be one who knows what's going on. Like you leave your keys somewhere, 9 times out of 10, Fanny will be the one to point it out. It's just funny how they are. Each dog, it's really important that we witness that distinct personality. That's a really important thing. Whoops. What was that? Somebody touched one of the puppies. Okay, let's get another pup.
Okay.
And I'll show you the distinction in these personalities. In the book, The Way of the Dog, there's a really fun thing to do where I ask you to look at, get to know your dog a little bit and then decide that if you think about your dog as a person in early high school or high school, and who would they be in the class? Would they be the funny one? Would they be the administrator mind type that sort of is always organizing the next party or the next event in the classroom? Or would they be the one who is just really low key and goes along with everybody and is very happy, and maybe he's a football player too, and that kind of thing? So you identify your dog as an actual personality that you would recognize in high school, and then go back to your dog. And what happens is it's really interesting because once you've identified something that you can connect to in the human world, and you look at your dog and you go, oh my God, that's so true. Then you can go even closer and start to realize, like, what are your unique things that you do that are really, different, like that are little funny things you do. Like every night, Billy loves to come up and curl up in the tiniest little ball, like one of those roly bugs or something. And he gets right in my armpit. And every single night he does this. It's his ritual. Well, he's supposed to be in bed by then. And when I realized this about him, it was his moment. It's like his special treat before bed. So now he gets put to bed. And then when everybody's gone, I let him out. He comes up. He does that for like 15 minutes or so. And then he goes back to bed. And he's so happy about it and completely satisfied. Doesn't fight at all going back to bed. So, whoops, I don't know what that is. Let me see. I hear a bell going on. So yeah. So anyway, this boy I'm crazy about too. This is Baxter, and he's like right in between the two that we just showed you. So he's not quite as chill as a baseline as little Basil. He's got a lot of intelligence. He's very, very smart, but he's that kind of leader that doesn't really overpower anyone. He knows what he knows, and he'll observe and wait till the right moment. He's very, very considerate, Super easy on his litter mates. Just a doll. He's an absolute doll, and he's so beautiful.
Yeah, every time I come in, he's always the one that's just kind of sitting in the corner, just watching me wide-eyed, like observing everything I'm doing.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah.
trying to be in front and get attention or anything, but yeah, he's very smart and observant. It was actually funny what you're saying about their unique personalities coming out because Anahata has a group with me and my sisters, and it's an entrepreneurial young women group, and we were just talking about how when you witness each other and start to become real and your personality and all the little unique things about you comes out. And what you're saying is it's exactly like dogs.
Yeah.
When you really witness them and they start to become, you know, more connected to you, more witnessed, more loving, their little unique quirks come out. It's really funny to watch.
Yeah, these are first principles, and you know, it's opening this whole domain of intelligence in the dog human relationship that really hasn't been named previously, you know. And the book has a lot of fun stuff to do with your dog, like that one exercise. Wow, lots of fun.
Bill, this is Ernest Lee. His ears are like
Very
really
earnest. That's how he got his name. He's very earnest.
Yes. His ears are like flying and they've got this really funny little curl, but they're going up for sure. He's also got that silky coat. He's got a really pretty like cream
Cream and blonde.
gray, cream blonde. But he is a you sleepy boy. I woke him up from his nap. He was just laying with his siblings, but he's the social butterfly of the group. Every time I come in, he goes right to the front to say hi. He immediately starts licking my hand when I put it in there. And he loves his people. He loves to be part of things. He loves to have fun. But he'll fall in love with his one main person once he finds who that'll be. Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you his sister, who actually is sold already. She's a super micro, and her name is Hazelnut. And you want to grab Hazel?
Yeah.
Keep him.
Okay.
I want to show you the difference between a micro and a super micro, which is kind of fun. So this is Hazel on the right here.
Right here.
And this is her brother. Now he's a micro. He's going to be a little fella, and she is going to be tiny and so gorgeous. Oh my God. And she has the most wonderful family. I mean, just an incredible family. No, that's fine. You don't do that anymore, honey. We don't want them to hang for too long.
Okay.
I appreciate you wanting to show everybody though. Now what was I saying?
She's gonna be really tiny, but he's gonna
Oh
be
yeah. And I have the most wonderful family that got her. It's a woman with 4 boys, and they are the most loving family, and these boys are just stunning. One young fellow was just the most amazing fellow on the phone with him, that we could see him, and he shared so many like really sensible things. I love it when people respect their kids that way, and they get to share intelligently, you know, in a conversation, and they kind of aren't held to the back or something. Yeah, it's really going to be fun to see her develop with them over time. And he is going to be an amazing friend to her for sure. Yeah. So this is a super micro, and you can see how tiny they are in the beginning. And also Royal Frenchels get their full height and length by 9 months. Then at 12 months, their head sort of goes whoop. And what it is the muscle straps and things take place, and their skull is finishing, because being so tiny, they actually finish a little bit later out of the womb. And then between 9 months, 12 months and 3 years old, they beef out. So it takes time for them to beef out. So you may look at it and go, oh, I don't want a spindly dog like that, or it looks like this. No. By the time it's 3 years old, the dog will have a nice, healthy chest, a beautiful head, and they will be quite a little football, I assure you, a sturdy little thing. So, you know, Julie, I appreciate you so much staying on through all of this. Not that it's necessarily relevant for you. And I want to just say that anytime you feel like if you wanted to get off, I don't want you to feel like you're held here for that. I love having you, but I just don't want you to feel, I'm feeling a little concerned that we're sharing a bunch of things that you already know. So, yeah.
No, they're adorable. I mean, I just absolutely love looking at them. And one of the and obviously I'm in the UK, so it's a longer process for me to bring Wesley back. And actually I've spent so much time sort of watching and really, understanding the breed. One of the things that I sort of more and more convincing myself is initially I thought I was only ever going to be a one dog person, and then I hear so much about how many people come back and buy a second Royal
Yeah.
Frenchel for you in time, and I know already that I'm going to be one of those people. So it's
Yeah,
really
you know, it's so funny during Google, Google did this transition, what they called the helpful content update or some, that was the name of it. And it was the most destructive thing that could have happened for small businesses across the US. It was really, really hard. And we went from a 56%, 52% average open rate on our emails to 9%. That means nobody was seeing anything we were putting out.
Mm.
And it just was crazy, and it took them so long to even slightly adjust it. It never really did get corrected. But what was so interesting about it, we were very concerned, right? Like, oh my God, how are we going to sell the dogs? Well, it's so interesting. The customers that had dogs already for 3 solid months, while we really weren't getting, I mean, I had customers that had been my customers for 15 years, 20 years before my Royals were born. They were my customers even. And they weren't getting the emails. They simply weren't getting them. They were all getting sent to junk and or somewhere. And and so but during that time, so many people came back for a second or a third or a fourth
Mm.
that it kept us alive for that whole time until I could get some other plan in place. I never thought that could happen. Like, I would
Mm.
not have ever thought that could happen. But that is true. They're so easygoing. Now, yours is a little different, Julie, because his daddy is actually a Frenchie.
Mhm.
That's the generation, the first generation of him. So he's going to be a little more active than the typical Royal
Mhm.
Frenchel. But oh, he's so loving. He's very sweet, very, very sweet. But yeah,
Mm.
it's pretty fun to see, people, do that. We just had another family come back, and you can see their video actually in the Royal Frenchel video thing. And he was a military fellow, and she had been very ill with cancer. They found out she had 4-stage cancer. And they got the first dog, and the response was so huge in him and her that they
Mhm.
got the second one, and then they got the third one. And then just recently, she finally got herself this super, super, super micro, Silky. And they're so thrilled. And I went on Zoom to see their place because we were sharing together. I become friendly with a lot of my customers and had longtime relationships with my customers, many of them. And so we were looking, she was showing us the space she had, their living room and everything. And it looks just so beautiful and so much fun. There's like all these dog things taking place around the room, and they're entertaining them, and they all snuggle. They have their places on the bed at night. It was really fun to see. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really common. So, uh, okay. So the next thing I want to do is just briefly tell you there's a sign up page for The Way of the Dog, the book coming out. That's down below. If you ever want to join the show, we have figured out how to do that so we don't get hacked again or intruded upon again. And so please always feel free while you're on the show, while we're on, to just want to jump on live, please join us. We'd love it. And Arturo will bring you into a room first and just touch base with you just to, make sure that you are who you say you are, because we had someone who wasn't who they said they were, and it was quite a show. We had to actually stop the show for a short period of time that day. So, so yeah, so come join us on the show during that time, anytime we're on live. And then next is Mr. White. And I want to just share with you really quickly, Mr. White. Mr. White is a project I've been working on for a long time. It's as a result of my my relationship with a dog who passed this year. His name was Mr. White. And he was 16 and a half years old. He and Mr. Eddie and White were the two that went with me everywhere. And they're my service dogs, traveled everywhere. And Mr. White is a service for people now. We've built an AI. Do I what, Turo?
You do. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Am I good?
Yeah, just
Can
make it
can
full
you
screen.
see the Mr. White on the screen,
Make it full
Julie?
screen.
Yes. Yeah.
And is it big enough? Can you see
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Mr. White is an AI for you that is highly focused based on the way of the dog. Of course, my first principles approach in terms of the things we've been sharing about today. But it is going to be killer. It is going to be by the end of this coming week in full beta with many, many services involved. You'll be able to put alerts on. And though it is focused on your dog, you can use it for you as well. So don't think everything I do is for dogs and their humans. It's never just one. So it has you'll be able to put your photos on there, all sorts of topics, even end of life planning. You'll know what you're going to do and how. You can ask him anything, any intrigue that you have about the dog world. You can talk to him about it. So many things. Let me just go through here and show you. You also get an NFT, which is a blockchain acknowledgement of the bond between the two of you that secures what the world terms as ownership. So, and it's transferable. So if you want your dog to have the safest and most secure acknowledgement of purchase or what the world often terms as ownership, we don't use that term here. We consider that we each own each other. So the NFT helps you acknowledge that. So, and it's transferable. So if you ever place your dog anywhere, you can always transfer it too. But what I want to show you is all of the things that it does, because it's amazing. You can create a keepsake book. So let's say you come to the end of year 1 and your dog did an agility class and you have all kinds of pictures and stories and funny things that happened, or you, your dog did something for you that was shocking and you happen to write that story. So you can put those little moments in Mr. White, and Mr. White will organize them according to your desires. And then at the end of a year, you get to have a birthday book and you can create your keepsake book. And Mr. White will organize it for you. You can fix it yourself. You can change it yourself and customize it any way you want. It's just wonderful. It's such a great service. It's going to have everything I've ever wanted in caring for my dog. So, yeah, like, let's see here. Like all your memories and all the care activities. If your dog is on medication, it will send you reminders and alerts to give your dog the medication at that time. And as I said, of course, if you want a reminder of something that's important to you, use the service. It works for you and your dog. And I don't write that in there a whole lot because it's really a tool to support the bond between you and your dog. And if I talk too much about humans in it, then it sort of pulls people away from that bonding. And so, but I want you to know you can, and it's really, really neat to be able to do. So you can health track your dog, any data that you have on your dog that you want to track, you go to the vet. Here in the US, it's really hard sometimes if you see a couple of different vets. You have oftentimes the vet that you saw the first time and then sent you to the specialist, right? Many times the records have not transferred, and you get to the appointment and the vet doesn't know it. So what do? They immediately schedule a bunch of tests. Well, 9 times out of 10, there is a test in there you've already paid for and you've already done. And so it's really valuable, and it also keeps your vet on their toes in this corporate world of veterinary medicine today, because they see that you have everything right there on your phone. You open your account, you go into your Mr. White. Mr. White says, wait a minute, you did that test already. You can even ask, here's the test they're wanting to do. Have we had that recently or not? Mr. White will answer you. He has full memory. The other thing he'll do is he will curate things for you, like special things. Like if he notices that you kept mentioning water and different things to do with your dog around water, he may suggest a trip that has a great place for dogs and people on the water. So he will be getting to know you over time and your dog over time. He'll suggest products. We're going to have an entire area that is just products that I use here in the kennel. They'll have a special star on them. And then there'll be those that Mr. White vets with he will go in and check reviews on various products and suggest products in all kinds of aspects of dog world, in terms of let's say toys, or because toys are the big one that everybody gets ripped off on. Let's face it, as I said, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on dog things that, were just horrible. They had no quality. They looked like they did, but they didn't. And, so anyway, lots of different things Mr. White will suggest and we have something called Fetch Friday. So on Fetch Fridays, products are talked about on Mr. White on social media, and you will get notifications of every product and what he has to share about them, and you can ask him about them in terms of their appropriateness for your dog as well. So it's really customized. It's very, very valuable to people who have dogs. It will definitely have an effect on your relationship with your dog, and definitely be an aid to their health and their continued care. You will have people that also are support. It's not all an AI. You will get us as well. If anything happens, you need us at all, we're going to be available. A community is going to form around it. And that's something I really want to do. I want people who come on, all these dog lovers, to be able to visit and share and enjoy getting to know each other from all over the world. But we'll see. It's going to take time, and I'm going to need a lot of help from everyone by us using it well and sharing how it worked and going back and forth about it, because I'm totally dedicated to this being the top support for anyone with their dog. It's leading edge. No one's done anything like this before. And certainly not coming from the context that we come from. So yeah, that's about it. Here's Mr. White. There's lots of questions that you may have here on the homepage of Mr. White, and you can see he'll answer those questions, and you can choose to have him answer them with his voice or not. So that's kind of fun. Anyway, all right, so that's Mr. White. I'm going to stop sharing on that for a moment. And Arturo, did you have anything you wanted to close with today? Or Gigi, how about you? Why don't you change, or you want to say something before you go?
I just think the Mr. White project is awesome, and it's going to be so helpful.
Yeah, too.
And I can't wait to see how people use it, how it helps them. I love that we're continuing on Mr. White's legacy even after he's passed.
Yeah.
And celebrating him, because he was just the best boy.
Oh my God, totally the best. Okay, well, thank you.
Nice to see you again, Julie.
I don't know what to say. I just wanted to thank Julie also for sticking around and hanging out with us while we do our pups.
So sweet.
Such a joy to hear your story. And yeah, I mean, if you're in Europe and thinking about getting a pup here in the US, I mean, Julie's story is one to consider. You know, she's a pioneer in a certain way where she's just like, you know what? Uh, it's so worth it. It's worth it for her. And we're
Well,
so
we have a lot of
here
customers.
that she's decided that's worth it. And yeah, and there's other people who have done that as well.
Yeah.
I don't mean that she's the only
Oh,
one,
that's all right.
but that it's a, you know, it's a new experience, I
Mm.
think, to consider, you know, wow, there's a unique breed out there for me,
Mm.
and be willing to go wherever and bring them home. So, and we can do it. And like she was saying, uh, when you go to Europe, they have to be at least 4 months old. So we stay with them and we prepare them and we get them all their right microchips and stuff. So that's why he's not with her yet. So it's all a clear path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So folks, don't forget this is the color that I love so much. I have a black one in my car and this one at home. For my thermos, I actually keep it around me. And this is the thermos, stainless steel, 2 bowls in the bottom, water, food for your dog. And all you do is open that and you get to drink 2. This keeps you away from any kind of dehydration when you're traveling or doing anything during the day. Also, Way of the Dog sign-up sheet is below in the links. And yeah, I would wait a week to get on Mr. White. We're doing a bunch of updates right now. It is live, but you know, everything isn't up to date yet. So if you give us a little time with it, that would be awesome. And much love to you and your dogs. Yeah. And Julie will continue to give Mr. Wesley our hugs, attention, and fun times, I promise.
Yeah. Times.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next Wednesday at noon.